Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Alex the Explainer, and in today's video, it's Thanksgiving break, meaning it's the autumn season, also known as fall. So I just want to make a video dedicated to both fall and winter. Of course, during the winter time, trees lose their leaves, to conserve energy for the winter, so the leaves die, fall off, and they change color. The reason for their changing in color is because, well, they lose all their chlorophyll, giving them reddish, orangish, yellowish, and even brownish type colors. And also, of course, they fall to the ground. Also, most plants, they usually die out as well during the fall, giving a nice, beautiful brownish look to the environment. Also, most animals get ready for what they do in the winter. Most animals like bears, squirrels, and chipmunks, they stock up on food supplies and they eat a lot of food to get ready for their hibernation. And most birds, they congregate up in these massive groups before they go off on their migration. So, fall is a pretty interesting time. It's more of a transitional period between summer and winter. And so, most animals, once they're ready for the winter, then the winter comes and it gets even colder. So what's it like in the winter? Let's find out. Last year, I created this interesting Google slide called A Wild Winter. It's supposed to tell people information about what most animals and most environments look like during the winter. Here's a little introduction. And here, we begin with forest winters. There is an extreme amount of wildlife in snowy winters in the northern forests. Most trees lose their leaves, and most marshes freeze and get drier. Not all birds migrate to the south. Some birds, like starlings, which are actually an invasive species, and woodpeckers stay up north for the winter. It might be because birds like starlings and woodpeckers have adapted to the cold. Bears hibernate during the winter. Coyotes can now hunt prey without bears stealing the food. Wetland winters. That actually looks like what parts of Ohio look like during the winter. Spot on. So, wetland winters. Of course, some of the winter environment is forests and snow. However, wetlands also exist in the winter. Ice covers most of the wetland area, dotted with shrubs and forests. Some insects like termites live in trees and underground to escape the cold. Also, ants do the same thing. And there is some birds and mammals that don't migrate and don't hibernate, and they can be seen, unlike the insects. Tundra winters. Those are some elk. The winter in the tundra environments have more harsher conditions than wetlands. The air gets drier and way more colder. Snow and ice covers the grassy land. Temperatures drop way below zero. Elk migrate away from the tundra to escape the freezing cold. This means that wolves in the tundra area have to hunt smaller prey like hares in the tundra in order to survive. However, some animals hibernate to survive the winter. Now, you see, I did forget one thing, the winter at the poles, the Antarctic and Arctic. So basically, the summer at the poles are just constant daylight for that amount of time, and creatures like polar bears and penguins can go out, and also seals as well, and go out with their merry way. However, during the winter, there's 6 months of darkness, and it's really harsh conditions. Hibernation. Sometimes animals can't survive the winter cold, and they're unable to migrate, so some animals hibernate. Hibernation is when an animal sleeps for the entire winter. Even insects sometimes hibernate. Prairie dogs, bears, and other mammals like chipmunks and squirrels all hibernate. It's usually just mammals who hibernate, and they spend all of autumn getting ready for hibernation by eating lots of food. But not all animals hibernate. Other animals, migrate. Migration. Some animals move away from the northern areas to escape the cold. This is called migration. Lots of animals migrate. Birds are extremely well known to migrate. However, locusts, monarch butterflies, elephants, and even salmon can migrate, as well as birds. Some birds have a mineral called magnetite in their brain used to help the bird migrate. The end. So that was just some information about the winter and the fall for this year's Thanksgiving break. So guys, bye guys, and stay Shrek-tastic.